Our next performer will be Jason Couture.
I personally love William Shakespeare. He is the reason that I got into performing. Now, I can't speak for everyone because everyone's not as educated as I am. But there are people who don't think he's as choked up as he is to be. This is one person's opinion of that. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Bo Burnham's Sonnet 155, playfully yet respectfully mixed with the words of William Shakespeare. Sonnet 155, or if Shakespeare had written a poem. I saw the morning dew betwixt thine thighs, as I removed my source of Grecian power, as if King Midas had dared to touch the skies, upon thy fell a golden shower. Thy body's temples, 2 church bells, had rung the rolls upon thy chest. Bestowed. The sun had set, thy set with weary hung. I thought, how black a night, and blue a load. I said, what light through yonder beaver breaks? 'Tis the yeast. And now my belly's yellow. My pole gives cause to storms and earthy quakes, but 'tis not massive, I am no Othello. And when that final moment came to pass, like Christ, I came, riding on an ass. William Shakespeare was a verbal contortionist. He could bend his words like a contortionist bends his frame. And I'd hope that he could with a name like William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare. Some of you seem lost. Look. Say your name was Robert Frost, and you couldn't write? That'd suck. But I guess you could always go as Bobby Frost and own an ice cream truck. He was balanced like a simile. It could stack metaphor 5, 6 at a time, and rhyme until the very last line of soliloquy, which finally said outright what the previous 77 were only hinting at. He had puns and quips and tons of trips with sons, with ships, with nuns, with hips, big buns and lips. But I have something Shakespeare never had. Penicillin. See, it hadn't been invented yet. Back then, they only had quillicillin. Hey! Sorry, it's not that hard, Bard. I'm sorry. I've got a bone to pick with you, William. So if you could just listen up here and listen to this theater query here, and perhaps act like a real artist for once in your life. Say Van Gogh and lend me your ear. You're not a writer. You're a writer like Hulk Hogan's a street fighter. You write these dramas, you accumulate your wealth. You hold nature as toward a mirror of yourself. Just because you're messed up doesn't mean we are too. Just because you want to bang your mom doesn't mean the Danish princes do. What? Who? Hamlet, Shakespeare. Yeah, that's right. The young prince whose father died at the hands of his uncle with whom his mother lied. Sound familiar? It's the fucking Lion King. You stole from a Disney movie, you androgynous douche. What's next? The story of a French king on a quest to find his lost son, Nemo. Oh, and by the way, poetic talent is really easy to fake when thy sentences doth no fucking sense make. To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of trouble, and by opposing end them, to die, to sleep no more, and by a sleep to say we end the heartache and the 1,000 natural shocks that flesh is heir to. 'Tis a consummation devoutly to be wished, to die, to sleep perchance to dream. Aye, there's the rub. For in that sleep of death, what dreams may come, when we have shuffled off this mortal coil, must give us pause. There's the respect that makes calamity of so long a life. For who would bear the whips and scorns of time, the oppressor's wrong, the proud man's contumely, the pangs of despised love, the law's delay, the insolence of office, and the spurns that merit patience of the unworthy takes, when he himself might his quietus make with a bare bodkin? Who would fardels bear to grunt and sweat under a weary life? But that the dread of something after death, the undiscovered country, from whose bourne no traveler returns, puzzles the will, and makes us rather bear those ills we have than fly to those we know not of. Thus conscience does make cowards of us all. And thus the native hue of resolution is sicklied o'er with the pale cast of thought. With disregard and enterprises of great pith and moment, with disregard, their currents turn awry and lose the name of action. What?